Welcome students back again to the lab. So now we are entering into the cationic part of the qualitative salt analysis. Hope you have understood the previous video what we have shown for anionic radical. Now we are entering into the cationic radicals or basic radicals. So what are all the basic radicals that we are going to see today? Lead ion, copper ion, aluminium ion, strontium ion, barium ion, calcium ion and ammonium ion. So totally how many of them are there? Lead, copper, aluminium 3, strontium, barium, calcium 3. 3 plus 3 6. The last one is ammonium. Out of this 7 cationic radicals, 6 of them are metallic cationic radical. Ammonium is not a metallic ion, but still ammonia is basic. Ammonium cation is also basic, which comes under basic radical. So now quickly we are going to see maximum 2 or 3 tests for all the cationic radicals. First and foremost, I am starting with lead. Any lead salt, whether the lead is in the form of acetate or carbonate or nitrate or chloride, I am just taking the lead salt and I am preparing lead salt solution. Once again I say here that qualitative salt analysis is done only for the ions separately, not for the salt as a whole. So I have to at least to do one test for the presence of cation and one test for the presence of anion to know the complete name of the salt. So now I am going to take this in 2 test tubes because I have 2 different tests for lead. Chariya. So test number 1 for lead, I am adding potassium chromate. The color of the solution is yellow. I am adding potassium chromate to identify the presence of lead. What am I getting? I am getting a bright yellow PPT. When I get a bright yellow PPT, I confirm the presence of lead. So this is test number 1. Now test number 2. The same lead salt solution and I am adding potassium iodide. Can you see there? A bright yellow color precipitate again. This also confirms the presence of lead ion in the salt. So the second test has a continuation. What is the continuation? The precipitate what you are getting with potassium iodide, right? Both are yellow PPT, but the one which you are getting with potassium iodide, that you have to take it and add few drops of water and then heat this. Let us see what happens when we heat this. Can you see the precipitate is getting dissolved? Can you see the precipitate is getting dissolved? So now after the precipitate dissolves, I have to just put it in cold water. Where I should put this test tube? I have to put this in cold water. I am just filling the beaker with cold water and I am dropping the test tube contents. What I have taken, I have just dropped it in the cold water. Let us see what happens after some time. I once again repeat this test. I have taken the lead salt solution, any lead salt solution, and I have added potassium iodide. I got the yellow PPT and I have added water to that yellow PPT and I have added water into the yellow PPT and I have heated that. The precipitate gets dissolved and I have dropped the contents of the test tube in a beaker containing cold water. I should get golden spangles. Let us see that after some time. Meanwhile, we move on to the next cationic radical. What's the next cationic radical? We have to test the presence of copper. Can you see the color of copper salt? Copper salts are either blue or green in color. Today I have taken a green color copper salt. I am just taking the green color copper salt crystals. So if the salt is colored, it is a little bit easy for us to identify the cation. So I am just dissolving the salt, copper salt, any copper salt. I don't know what is the anion which is present here because I have not done the test. It can be chloride or it can be nitrate. Definitely it is not sulfate because it will be blue in color. This salt is green in color. So it has to be either nitrate or chloride. I have prepared the copper salt solution and I am taking this in test tube Actually, I should take it in 3 test tubes because there are 3 tests for showing the presence of copper, right? So there are 3 test tubes where I have taken the copper salt solution. It's better to show you the test in the test tube stand, right? So let me show the test in the test tube stand for copper. I have taken 3 test tubes of copper salt solution. In the first test tube, I am adding ammonium sulfide. Ammonium sulfide, SuLPHID. Can you see there what is the color precipitate you are getting? You are getting a black color PPT. So when you get a black color PPT, this confirms the presence of copper. Right? Let me do the second test. I am adding potassium ferrocyanide. What is the color PPT I am getting? Chocolate brown PPT. I have added potassium ferrocyanide and I am getting chocolate brown PPT. In the last test, I am adding ammonium chloride few drops and I am adding ammonium hydroxide few drops. Let us see what is the color PPT we get. Can you see the color PPT? You are getting deep blue color. So the deep blue color confirms the presence of copper ions in the salt. So there are 3 tests for copper. The first one is to the salt solution I have added ammonium sulfide which showed a black PPT. The second test I added potassium ferrocyanide, it showed a chocolate brown PPT. And the last test I have added ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide which showed a deep blue color solution. So this 3 test confirms the presence of copper as the basic radical in salt, right? So the next test I am going to the next cation which is nothing but aluminium, right? I am just going for aluminium. Before I go to aluminium, I just wanted to show you when you take lead salt directly and heat it in the Bunsen burner. For lead I have missed it. When I heat it, you can see a flakes. Can you see there the white flakes which is coming in between? You can see there the white flakes which comes. You can see near very well, yes, the flakes are coming now only. So that white flakes can tell you that 90% of your salt may contain lead as its cation. Right? So this is only a preliminary test. I can't say it is a confirmatory test. You can see here the golden spangles. It will be glittering. So maybe in the lab when you perform this test, you can see this golden spangles better. I am just getting a little bit only. You will be definitely getting more when you do it in the lab. That is for the presence of lead. So now we are moving to the next cation which is nothing but aluminium. Right? I am just taking aluminium salt and I am preparing salt solution. Every time ensure that you perform the test with the salt solution. Unless and until it is prepared, it is used for testing using the salt. Don't use the salt directly. Kindly prepare the salt solution. Swarna blue litmus solution. So when you take the presence of aluminium, I am just taking aluminium presence by doing 2 tests. The first test is adding ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide. I am adding ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide. You can see a gelatinous white PPT. Can you see there? A gel-like PPT which has formed. So this confirms the presence of aluminium radical in the salt. To the salt solution, I have added ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide where I got a gelatinous white PPT of aluminium hydroxide. Second test is also the same. I have just taken the salt solution and I am adding ammonium chloride. I have to add excess of ammonium hydroxide, more of ammonium hydroxide. Right, I have added more of ammonium hydroxide to get the gelatinous white PPT. On the top of this gelatinous white PPT, I have to add blue litmus solution. Can you see there the blue litmus solution which is floating on the top? It is not getting dissolved. So the blue litmus solution floats on the top of the gelatinous white PPT. So this confirms the presence of aluminium cation in the salt. The last and the final test for aluminium is called ash test. How do we perform this ash test? This is very interesting. When you take the test tube, this ash test has to be performed using salt. It is not with the salt solution, it is with the salt. I am just taking aluminium salt and I am adding cobalt nitrate solution, salt solution. Look at the color of the solution, cobalt nitrate solution. What is the color it is showing? It is showing pinkish red. So I am adding cobalt nitrate solution and I have to mix this salt. I have taken salt directly and I have added cobalt nitrate solution. Now what is my next step in this ash test? I have to just take a filter paper. I'm folding the filter paper and I have to dip this and wet the filter paper with the contents what I have prepared. So I'm just taking the contents. I have to dip the contents and just adjusting. So I am just making the paper wet. What did I take in the test tube? I took aluminium salt and I mixed it with cobalt nitrate solution and I have dipped the filter paper into it. Now I have made the paper wet. Am I right? So now I have made the paper wet and now what should I do is I have to hold this paper in a test tube holder and I have to heat this paper in the Bunsen burner. So I have to heat this in the Bunsen burner. Let me heat it. Let us see what is the changes happening. Once again I repeat, I took aluminium salt, cobalt nitrate solution in a test tube and then I have dipped the filter paper into that and I am heating the filter paper into the non-luminous part of the Bunsen burner. I think it has fallen down, so you will be getting a blue color ash. Hope you are able to see this blue color ash. So when you get a blue color ash, you confirm the presence of aluminium. Right? So this test is called as ash test. You will be getting a blue color ash. Maybe if time permits, I will do this test again at the last. So these are all the confirmatory tests for aluminium. Right? So far we have done lead, copper, aluminium. The next one we are going to do for strontium, barium and calcium. Right? Strontium, calcium and barium. There is nothing much colorful in these three salt. Before entering into these three salts test, I will just show the flame color test. It's very interesting. I am just taking strontium, barium and calcium. So let me take first calcium and show you what is the color it is showing in the flame test. Can you see that a tinge of red color comes? This is called, or this is observed as a brick red color. So when a brick red color comes, when you take the salt and heat it, you may guess it may have calcium acids, cationic radical or basic radical. Calcium acids, cationic radical. So it has to give a brick red color. The next one is, let me go for strontium. I am just taking the strontium salt and I am heating it in the non-luminous part of the Bunsen burner. Can you see the color? This is also giving a red color flame, but the flame is little brighter compared to that of calcium. So this is called crimson red, right? So this red is called as crimson red, but it is very difficult to confirm. Both are red in color, so it is very difficult to differentiate between brick red and crimson red. Maybe we can say it is red. So it may be calcium or strontium. Let us see what is the color barium gives in the flame test. So calcium, strontium and barium all are positioned in group 2 in this block. They are collectively called as alkaline earth metals. So I am just showing what is the color. It has to show apple green color flame. So I think we are viewing from a longer distance. The edge of the flame will burn with an apple green. Can you see there? Here and there the tinge of apple green is seen. If you take pure salt and you do it in the lab, definitely it will give you the color. So what are the three colors that we have to differentiate for calcium, strontium and barium? Calcium shows brick red, strontium shows crimson red and barium shows apple green. This is not a persistent or confirmatory test. You may have a fair guess. It may have calcium or strontium. We have to go for the confirmatory test and then only we have to confirm the presence of cation, right? So the first one we are going with barium. There are 3 tests for barium, so I am dissolving the salt in 3 test tubes. Nothing much colorful you could see here. So I am just taking barium salt and I am dissolving the salt in water. I have 3 tests for barium. I have 3 tests for barium. I am just keeping dissolving the salt. I'm just dissolving the salt. Let us give the time for the salt to get dissolved in water. Not all the salts have a very good hydration enthalpy to get readily solubilized in water. Some may take time, some may not solubilize because of its high lattice enthalpy. So I am just taking the salt solution. In 3 test tubes. I have 3 tests for barium. It's all known reagents only which we have already used it. I've just taken 3 test tubes for 3 tests of barium. Test number 1, I am adding potassium chromate which I have used for finding the presence of lead. I am adding potassium chromate. I got a light yellow PPT. Right? So this confirms the presence of barium. The next one I should add ammonium sulfate. I am adding ammonium sulfate. I am getting a white PPT that confirms the presence of barium. And the last one I am adding ammonium oxalate. Can you see that white PPT? So yellow, white, white. Yellow with potassium chromate, white with ammonium sulfate and white with ammonium oxalate. So this confirms the presence of barium in the salt. Once again I repeat, yellow PPT with potassium chromate, white PPT with ammonium sulfate and white PPT with ammonium oxalate. Right? So the next test for strontium. Same strontium salt I am taking and I am adding ammonium sulfate and ammonium oxalate, the same reagent only. So it's very easy. I have to prepare the salt solution before that. So ensure that you prepare the salt solution. Don't ever use the salt directly unless and until it is required for the test. So I am taking 2 test tubes. The first test I am adding ammonium sulfate for strontium. Can you see the white PPT? So the white PPT confirms the presence of strontium. The color difference will help you to identify. The last test for strontium, ammonium oxalate I am adding and again getting a white PPT. The same reagent I have used for barium. So for barium, 3 reagents I have used: potassium chromate, ammonium sulfate, ammonium oxalate. All the 3 got precipitate. For strontium, I used only 2. What are they? Ammonium sulfate and ammonium oxalate. For calcium, very easy. I will be using only 1 reagent, which is nothing but ammonium oxalate. So arrange the reagent: potassium chromate, potassium ammonium sulfate and ammonium oxalate. So for barium, all the 3 answered yellow, white. For strontium, the last 2 white alone answered. And for calcium, I have just taken the salt and I am dissolving the salt in water and I am preparing the salt solution. So for calcium, I have to add only ammonium oxalate. So when I add ammonium oxalate, can you see there the white PPT? It's white PPT. So how do we come to a consensus? Means yellow, white for barium, white for strontium, white alone for calcium. And the flame test will help you whether it is giving a red color or a green color. If it is a red color, it may be strontium or calcium. If it is green color, obviously it is going to be barium. So with that, we can identify the presence of calcium, strontium and barium. One common test is when you take any of strontium, calcium and barium salt, add ammonium chloride, ammonium hydroxide and ammonium carbonate, all the 3 cations will give you a white PPT. I don't want to show this test, but I am just saying when you take any calcium, strontium, barium salt, add ammonium chloride, ammonium hydroxide and ammonium carbonate, you get white PPT for all the 3, either it is calcium or strontium or barium, all the 3 will give you white PPT. So again this leads to a confusion only, so better let us do this test and then move on to the specific test what I did. Yellow, white for barium, white for strontium and white precipitate for calcium, right? So almost all the cations are over. The last one will be ammonium, right? The last one is ammonium. I'm just taking the ammonium salt and when I heat it, it should give a pungent ammoniacal smell. Before that, let me just tell you the golden spangles test. Golden spangles test, I am not getting very brightly. I think I have to redo the golden spangle test which I have done for red. So just give me some time. Before that, we will wind up to do the test for ammonium. So I am just taking ammonium salt and I am heating it in a dry test tube. Any ammonium salt, I am heating it in a dry test tube will give you a pungent smelling, ammoniacal smell. Let us heat the ammonium salt. Let me heat this for some more time. Before that, I need a glass rod dipped in concentrated hydrochloric acid. So just give me a minute time. Concentrated hydrochloric acid and glass rod. I should take concentrated hydrochloric acid and I have to dip a glass rod into it. Right? So for this is the test for ammonium, and as I told you, ammonium is not a metallic cation, it is a basic cation. So ammonium chloride will answer ammonium ion and chloride ion. Likewise ammonium chloride, ammonium acetate, ammonium oxalate, ammonium nitrate, ammonium carbonate. There are a lot of ammonium salts and we know that most of the ammonium salts are used as fertilizers. So what I have tried now, I have just taken the ammonium salt directly and I have heated it in a dry test tube. Now what should I do is, I have to dip a glass rod in concentrated HCl and I have to bring this near the mouth of the test tube. Can you see there the vapors? Dense white fumes comes out. So I am dipping it again and I am showing it near the mouth of the test tube. Can you see there the dense white fumes? This dense white fumes is nothing but ammonium chloride vapor. So this vapor has come out because when you heated the dry gas, what was the gas released? Ammonia was the gas released. When I dipped a glass rod in concentrated HCl, the HCl drop which was there on the glass rod reacted with ammonia to form ammonium chloride vapors. So this ammonium chloride vapors confirms the presence of ammonium basic radical in the given salt. The last test for ammonium is nothing but Nessler's reagent test. What is the test? Nessler's reagent test. I am taking ammonium salt in a test tube. The last test, ammonium salt in a test tube. And I have to add, either you can take salt or you can take a salt solution. That is not a big issue. I have to add sodium hydroxide. What should I add? I have taken the salt, ammonium salt, and I have to add 1 or 2 drops of sodium hydroxide. And then I have to add here Nessler's reagent. So once again I repeat, there were 2 tests that we saw for ammonium. The first test was I have taken the salt in a dry test tube, heated, it gave some pungent smelling gas, ammonia, that was made to react with the concentrated HCl which was dipped in the glass rod. It gave a dense white fumes. That is one of the confirmatory tests. The last and the final test for ammonium is I have taken the salt and I have added sodium hydroxide and I am adding Nessler's reagent. So it's a coordination compound. I am adding Nessler's reagent. Can you see here the reddish brown PPT? This reddish brown PPT confirms the presence of ammonium radical, right? So totally I did 2 tests for ammonium and I have done with all the cations, lead, copper, strontium, calcium, barium, aluminium and ammonium. If you have any doubt, you can watch the video quite a couple of times to understand in a better manner. Here comes the golden spangles. I am just showing near the camera. If you are able to see the golden spangles, it's fine and good. But when you come and do the same test in the lab, definitely it will come out well. So a glittering sparkle glitter, something which can be seen there in the test tubes. This confirms the presence of lead, right? So as a matter of closure, what did we start? We started with volumetric analysis 2 where we did the titration of sodium carbonate versus HCl and we noted down the titer value by using methyl orange as the indicator, and then we moved on to see the list of anions and its confirmatory test, followed by the list of cations and its test. So totally we did 5 anions and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cations. So any combination which is given to you as an unknown salt, by doing any 1 or 2 tests, you can confirm the presence of the simple salt which is given to you, whether it is colored or colorless, right? So with this we are winding up the practical session. Hope you have understood what has been projected in the video. Any doubt, kindly feel free to clarify your doubts. Thank you so much. Shri Guru Dev.